Hi guys, welcome to my Facebook Live. I finally got on. Sorry about that. I didn't have the live button for some reason and I had to log out of Facebook. It wouldn't give it to me on the group page either, but I'm here now, so welcome. I'll give a few minutes for people to join. Today we're going to be playing with the Party Puffins stamp set. So this is a new stamp set out of the annual catalog. And I have two really fun cards to share with you. Let's see here. Okay. Okay. So this is the stamp set we're going to be using today. I'm featuring this stamp set all week. So hopefully you get lots of ideas. It's really fun. I'm really glad I got this one. And this is a great set if you're a beginner because you can make some really cute cards with the stamp set, a black ink pad, and some markers. So you don't need a lot of supplies to start creating cards with this set. So let's get started. First things first, here's my current hostess code. And let me turn off the light. Hold on. It's my current hostess code. It runs through May 15th. If you spend $40 or more, you'll get my monthly card kit in the mail for free. And I host a Facebook Live at the end of the month to show you how to put those cards together. I'm also giving away a mini stamp and cut emboss machine for anyone that places an order of $40 or more, or shares my videos after I'm done recording them and add all the links. So on the 16th, I'll be drawing for the machine for one lucky winner for that. If you're local, I'll get the machine for you. If you are not local, I'll just ask that you pay for shipping and I'll ship it the cheapest way possible. So this is my current hostess code and I will post this at the end of the video as well. The other big thing I have going on right now is my Inspiring Friendship Summer Retreat to Go. So I've teamed up with another demonstrator and we are doubling up our efforts and offering double the projects and a whole day of lots of stamping fun. So I still have room available for people to join. There will be an exclusive Facebook group. We will have games, demonstrations, sample boards will be posted, prizes. What else? We're going to do some mystery stamping. So it's sure to be a really fun day. Everything will be recorded. So if you can't attend live, you can participate whenever the time is right for you. Okay. So let's get started. I actually didn't cut my cardstock today. So I'm going to do that with you guys. And then you'll get to see how I'm doing it. So, hey Lori, thanks for joining. Here I have a sheet of So Saffron cardstock, and I'm going to make both cards out of this, and I'm going to score it, the whole card first, or the whole sheet of cardstock, and then I'm going to cut it in half at 5.5. If you're not aware, one sheet of cardstock gets you 2 full-size cards. Okay, let's see if we can zoom out a little here. I'm not sure if I can. Hold on. Okay, go up just a tad. I will be drawing winners for these cards at the end of our live today. So how you get chosen is I randomly choose from the comments. So be sure to comment often. It increases your chances of winning. And then it gives me an idea of what you like to see. Okay, and let's see here. We are going to, I'm going to take a piece of this one. This is the new polished pink. And I'm just getting my layers ready for my card. So I'm just cutting the pieces now and I'll kind of explain how it will all go together. Okay. So I decided that I wanted to incorporate some of the Occasions catalog product with the new catalog product. So I had a package of the Sand and Sea Designer Series paper that I haven't used much of. So I'm going to be featuring this today, and I'm going to show you how you can incorporate it with some of the new product. So again, like I always do, is I took some of the colors from the back of the cardstock, or back of the Designer Series paper. So I'm using So Saffron today, and then Seaside Spray Retired. However, Misty Moonlight is a slightly darker shade, so that's what I'm going to use in its place. And then it has Melon Mambo on here, and I think our polished pink is pretty close to that, so that's what I'm using. Okay, and let's see, I chose 2 sheets. So the first card is going to be, we're going to be using these fun dots here. Okay, and this is the back side. And the second card, there's a sheet that's like this. It's kind of that blue color, and then it's got like these sand dollars on the back. I'm using the blue color, okay? And what I did was I ran it through my Big Shot, or actually not my Big Shot, my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And I wanted to show you that with these dies, we're using the Tasteful Label dies. They fit in the mini machine. So you don't necessarily have to have the big machine in order to make really cute projects. So, and if you place an order and you win it, then you get it for free. So I'm using the largest rectangle from that, and then using one of the circled dies, the largest circle, and that will be for that one. Okay. And then let's see here. We're going to use this is going to be my scrap white cardstock. I'm going to use the new in color markers to color my images. I'm using the new loose flower flourishes for my embellishments. I'm also going to show you the blending brushes. So these come in a package of 4. If you do participate in my summer retreat to go, we are including 1 brush with every kit. So you'll actually get your very own brush, so you can try it before you buy a whole package of them. And we'll share on the videos how to use them. So that's kind of exciting. What else? Oh, and then for this one, I'm going to layer a piece of basic white on top. So I wanted to show you how I do this. So this is just the largest scallop, and it's got this little bit of stitching in here. Okay. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to measure just inside the stitching, because I want a piece of, I just want this to be my border. Okay. So I'm actually going to go with 3 5/8 by 2.5. Okay. So 2.5 and 3 5/8. Okay, and then you can see here that layers nicely. Okay. So those are our 2 cards, and I'm going to put this aside here, and what I'm going to do is I am going to stamp some of the images in the StazOn and let them dry for a minute. I like to use the StazOn, and I like to make sure that my ink pad is very juicy, because otherwise your images will come out like this. And I mean, it looks okay, but you can tell that, like, the person that made this card, this is a swap, you can tell her ink pad wasn't very juiced up. And so it's really cute for an idea, but I wouldn't want to give this to a person. So I like to make sure that my ink pads are really juicy. Now, because of that, you need to give it a little bit of time to dry before you start coloring it or cutting it out, because otherwise it will smear. Okay, so I'm going to stamp the Puffins that I know that I'm going to use right now. Let me find my stamp set. I just had it. And then I'm going to set this aside to let it dry for a little bit, okay? So, the first one we're going to do is the puffin with the little party hat. And then we are going to do this little one here. I'm going to do the birthday cake, and I think we're going to do the little fish. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, let's ink this up. And I like to turn it over and look at it to make sure that the stamp is nice and covered. Okay. I'm not going to worry about the little halos there because I'm going to be cutting this out. Okay, so then our next one is this little guy. And so see, you can see right there, there's no ink. So we need to inking it up. Okay, so then we'll just set this aside to dry. And then on this circle, we're going to do this one as well. So let me get a scrap piece of paper to stick under here because this one's actually going to stamp kind of off. So this one is going to do the party hat first. Okay, you can see that's kind of, it's not too bad though. For the sake of time, I'm going to use it. I would probably cut another one, but I'm going to use it just because I don't have I want to keep this under an hour. So, and then we will use the birthday cake. And that's where I'm going to put this right here. And I just kind of stamped off so that it's like that. Okay. All right. So we'll put that to the side to dry as well because we're going to color it. And in the meantime, I am going to do some embossing. We are going to stamp our sentiment on here. Okay, and I'm going to use some Whisper White craft ink. This is pigment ink, so it stays wet longer, and I'm going to do some embossing powder. I like to keep my embossing powder in these little containers that I found on Amazon. And we're just going to be making a banner with this, so I'm just going to stamp it just like so. Put some embossing powder, and then I'm going to heat it. And it's going to get kind of noisy, so if your volume's up, plug your ears. Get the excess off. Okay. Oh, my plug's not working now. Hold on. Okay. So I heat emboss this, and then it melts the powder. It looks like this. So, okay. So then, clean that off. And we'll do the happy birthday on the other card. So we'll get that ready. Okay. So then I'm going to take my cutter and I'm just going to trim this off. Like so. Let's trim a little more. And then get a piece of my polished pink. Do the same thing. Just like so. So they're kind of the same. Hi Kay, thanks for joining us. Okay. So this one will go over there. That. Let's see, what else do we need? I'm just getting the pieces ready. And then we're going to start creating. So let me color these. I like to let them kind of dry for a little bit, especially coloring on the white cardstock. I just don't want it to smear. So, okay, so we're going to color here. And this stamp set is really nice because there is some coloring, but the areas are not too large, so it looks really nice if you color it with markers. You could use blends and do some shading, but if you just have markers, they work fine too. So let's do our candles. Let's see what else. Oh, candles over here, and our little fish. Okay, then our pink. It's kind of quiet while I color, sorry. Okay. Let's see what else. Let's use some purple. So this is the fresh freesia. What's your favorite in color so far? You have one? Let's see here. Fresh freesia is Lori's. Mine is the evening evergreen. Okay, what else? Let's see here. Let's just do this. Okay. And then we need to do the hats. Just gonna color the whole thing. The freesia. I'll come in with the pink. Okay. And this one, let's do let's do the hat. Pink. So this one, because the pink is darker, I'm not going to color the whole hat like I did with the Fresh Freesia. That one's light enough that you can do that. I'll just do all colors on here. Okay. All right. Okay. So, and then we need to color our candles on here. So, actually, I'm just going to leave them white. Okay. So, let's put this aside and we're going to do our first card. So, for our first card, I'm going to fold our base of our cardstock. Now, remember, this is the So Saffron. And I pulled the colors from the back of the Designer Series paper. And the Designer Series paper, if you missed it, is the Sand and Sea Designer Series paper from the Occasions catalog. So I wanted to incorporate some new with some of the not so new. I won't say old because it's not old, but all right, lay that down, and then we're going to put some adhesive on this and put that just like so. And then for our Make-A-Wish, I'm just going to come in here at the middle and cut up, and then I'm going to cut, this is how you can do your like little pennants freehand if you want. So cut up the middle and then just come in like so. And I'm going to have this kind of sitting like that. So need it like that. And like that. So, and oh, it's coming off. Let's see. I guess this one we could stick down here. So there's our card, our first one. Okay. So once you get the stamping and the coloring out of the way, the cards go together really quick. Let's do our next one. Okay. So on this one, same, I'm using the other half of the cardstock for the base. Okay. And I cut a scallop out of that, and then basic white is going to layer on top like so. Okay. And then for this one, in the Designer Series paper, it calls for what color? The Seaside Spray, but that's retired. So I'm going to use the Misty Moonlight because it's similar. And I'm going to be using a blending brush. So I'm going to actually use this one. And so what I like to do is get the ink and put it on a block. I feel like when you go directly from the ink pad to your cardstock, it's very abrupt, that first one. So I like to put it on a block and kind of rub it around and get it so that it's kind of even on our brush. And then we're just going to come in here and start brushing like this, like so. And I want to leave some white. I'm not coloring the whole piece of cardstock. If I was doing that, then I would just get the Misty Moonlight cardstock. I want some of that white to show through. So, and I like to hold it like this. I'm not sure how you know, whatever feels comfortable in your hand that you feel like you can control, okay? And I'm going to make it a little darker on the bottom and then lighter as you go up to the top. Remember, you can always add more ink, but you can't take it away once you've put it on there. So, okay, and I'm just kind of blending it so that it looks even. And then there's, so it's kind of hard to see on the camera, but you can kind of see that, okay? And then, actually, we're going to use this to stamp our sentiment across the top, which is going to say happy birthday. Make sure it's straight. Just like so. And then we're going to cut these out. Okay, so I find the easiest way to cut them out is to cut each one, and I'll show you why in a second. I think if you don't own a pair of paper snips, you really need to get some. They really help with this. So when I cut these, I move the paper, not necessarily my scissors, okay? And I'm going to leave a white edge on the outside, because if you don't, then you have to be extra careful when you're cutting on the line. But if you intentionally leave that white edge on the outside, you don't notice it as much if you are not as even. Okay, so you can see where my thumb is holding this cardstock. So if we would have done this right when we first stamped it, we would have smeared that black ink, because it does take a little bit of time to dry, especially since I'm using a really juicy ink pad. And this stamp set is a great one for fussy cutting like this. The lines are not too, they're pretty straight, so it's not too difficult to do fussy cutting. And if you are going to make cards like these, you might stamp these and then color them, and then maybe one night while you're watching TV, you cut all your pieces out, and then you finish your card the next day. So it's kind of something mindless that you can do while you're watching TV. So, and I'm not going to even bother going in there on those little candles. You could if you wanted to, but it's going to look cute even if you don't. If you decide to be real intricate like that, the thing that you need to remember is either you need to decide to be intricate like that or not. And then whatever you decide, that's what you need to do on all of the images, okay? So if I were to go in between all of these candles on this one, then I would want to make sure and do all the definition on his toes, all the definition on his toes, because then it looks intentional. And likewise, because I'm not doing that, I'm going to be sure and not do it on any of them, because I want it to be intentional that I left it like that. And hopefully that makes sense. And I do it both ways. Sometimes I get real intricate, and then other times I don't. If I don't have a lot of time, then I don't. Okay. Does anyone have a favorite stamp set yet from the new catalog? I don't know. I don't know what mine is yet. I have a couple that I really like that I hope stay around for a while, because I think they're going to be really versatile. But I don't have a favorite yet. Okay. So then to assemble this, I'm just going to adhere this basic white to my designer series paper. And I think that, let's see here, I think I'm going to pop that up. And I have these strips, so I'm going to use these. I had some that I cut. This is the adhesive strips for something, and then I didn't end up using them, so I'm going to use them for this. And these are good too because the designer series paper is kind of thin. Having that dimension all across the edges will help the sturdiness of it. Okay. Oh, all right. So that, and then I'm going to put dimensionals on the backs of these, and I'm going to use my little dimensionals for the little fish. Okay, and we'll put one here and one here because I don't want them to get caught. Okay, so let's start with the cake, and we're going to put that in the center, just like so. And then our first penguin will go on right here, and we'll just turn him a little so that it doesn't cover up our happy birthday. And then our second little one is here, and then he is holding a little birthday gift, so he brought a gift to the party, which is a little fishy, just like so. And then I'm going to embellish these cards. My favorite embellishment to use with the puffins has to be the loose leaf flower flourishes. I just think these go so well with the little birthday hat. So I'm going to get 2 of those out and put a little dab of glue. And there you have it. Our fun little party puffins. Super cute. So those are the projects I have to share with you today. Thank you again for joining. I will post the hostess code. When I post this video, I'll post the link with that. And this is going to be my new time going live every Wednesday at noon. So mark your calendars or put a reminder, and watch my Facebook page for other ideas with the stamp set for the rest of the week, and I'll see you next week. Have a great day. Bye.